This is TWiT.
We are hiring. If you are a product manager, engineer, or designer, we would love to talk to you because there's some really important ways that government is messed up right now and technology can help. And we need some help helping make things better. So please consider checking out USDS.gov.
USDS is a really exciting service. It was started, it seems like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, more than 4 years ago now, right?
Coming up on 6 years next week.
When Silicon Valley, it started with the ACA website. And Silicon Valley said, look, this is a mess. Let us help you. And they came out. I don't know, is that when you went out, Matt?
I came out in 2016, so it had been around for a couple of years. There was a lot of people that I really trusted who were doing a tour of government service. I signed up for a 3 to 6 month tour, and I passed year 4 in June.
That's awesome. But you know what? They couldn't have a better guy running the place. I think that's so fantastic. Coders know you and love you and trust you. And you know, we always say to military folks, thank you for your service. But this is service too. This is a really important service. Thank you for your service, Matt. And thanks to everybody on your team.
It's a great team. And the thing that strikes me is you see the sort of stuff in the headlines like state unemployment insurance systems that are buckling under the weight of so many people who are applying for unemployment insurance. And, you know, these are often systems that are 10, 20, 30 years old. They're often running on mainframes. So we recently did a collaboration with the state of New Jersey. Their site did not work on mobile phones, and most people are trying to recertify their weekly, you know, benefits on mobile phones. And so just, you know, some CSS styling later and a production push, and now it works much better for those 8 million people who live in New Jersey. And so it's absolutely the kind of work that everything from getting better data about COVID to, you know, helping veterans, it's really work that matters and can have a really big impact, and you can stay in front of a computer while you're doing your work. So
somebody in our chat room who wants to apply, do you need clearance, government clearance to do it?
Right now, you do need to be a U.S. citizen, and you do have to be able to get security clearance. So, you know, marijuana, things like that are still illegal on the federal level. But, you know, if you're somebody who's straight edge, we would love to talk to you because you really can make a big difference.
How long do I have to be off the pot?
That's such a good question. I don't know. I've never done the pot. I've never done the Mary Jane, so I don't actually know how long it takes to work through the system.
Okay.
But
you'd have to test. You'd have to test clear. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think I could figure that out. I'll find that out.
Have you been able to work on any of the unemployment systems that are running on COBOL?
Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah, so we have engineers who are learning COBOL for fun. And it turns out the system that pays out Medicare, which pays out $2 billion a day, is 40 years old and has 14 million lines of COBOL and assembly. And it turns out that really needs to be upgraded to a more modern language.
I'm going to be on Medicare in a couple of years. I hope you fix it by then.
Fingers crossed. I mean, that is a great collaboration with the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services. So, you know, if you are an engineer who is unhappy and not feeling like you're having an impact right now, or, you know, you're doing the same thing that you did last month, you can really try something completely new and get hooked on the impact if you want to try the U.S. Digital Service.
Yeah. And how satisfying would that be to say, yeah, I helped fix Medicare? I mean, that makes a difference in people's lives in ways you just don't. Now, but I do have to ask you, is this actually from a whiteboard at USDS?
Yes. So we have not been into our office in Jackson Place. We're remote right now, but that's okay. We're able to do our work remotely as well. And, you know, this is the sort of thing. So Mac is, you know, like a Medicare administrative sort of middleman, and it turns out if you just even pull the data off of the mainframe, I'll try not to geek out too much. If you just pull the data off of the mainframe, then you can start to do real-time analytics. You can look for fraud. You can look at like, oh, on the first of the quarter, somebody does a bunch of billing. They find the most expensive procedure that gets reimbursed, and then they just submit that for the next 90 days. And like, there's all kinds of ways where getting data to a place where you can actually do real-time analysis in a way that most of the tech industry is used to. It's world-changing. Like go where you're rare. One technologist can really make a huge difference in the U.S. government right now.
Is it is it a custom database, or are they like running DBase 2? What are they using?
If I remember, the
COBOL
mainframe
database?
it's running on ZOS. Yeah.
Wow.
So like we're learning things like vSAM and all this sort of stuff.
Oh my God.
But if you can insert in the right spot, you can just make a copy of it and use it, in a secure location in the cloud or wherever. And then you can use all the regular sort of, like, we are talking about a lot of data by government terms, but not a lot by tech industry terms. And so, it's possible to make a pretty big difference.
Oh,
my Turbo Pascal 4 skills from 1995 are finally going to pay off.
Come on in.
Pascal, COBOL's a snap. It's really a lot. Not so many semicolons and colons. It's much easier. Actually, I think it'd be kind of fun to learn COBOL and then and kind of dive into this and try to solve this problem, knowing especially that it makes a huge difference. You can write another Tetris. World doesn't need another Tetris. You could write one, or you could go to U.S. Digital Service, usds.gov/apply, and you get paid, right? I mean, it's not like you're volunteering; it's a job.
The government can pay up to $165,000 a year. So,
what?
I mean, yeah, it's, if you're a GS 1510, which is welcome to acronym soup, but you learn all the acronyms. It is absolutely possible to make enough for a living wage. It's that's good salary. Like, there's a lot of people who start at a much lower salary because of all the experience and the value that you bring. The government can pay its top rate for general service sort of employees, and then you nice. You joked whenever I would not come on This Week in Google that I was Colonel Cutts, but when I started at the Pentagon, I was the equivalent of 06. Like, I was a colonel because I'd had industry, experience, and so it really does make a big difference. People don't have this technical experience in the government.
Do they call you Colonel?
No.
Do you get to wear a uniform?
Did anybody salute you?
No. I'm an administrator, so I'm down here. But
no, administrators are important. Don't knock administrators. We need the administrators. Maybe you could get on Space Force later.
Can I tell you, we have a person who is involved with the U.S. Digital Service who is in the strategic group for Space Force. If you are interested in Space Force, come talk to us.
Nice.
Let's introduce you to Noah. Nice. I would love to introduce you to Noah.
Noah needs you.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be cool? Noah needs you more than ever.